have you ever gave it too big of a dose? And they're like, we got a big problem.
Literally.
We got a big problem. And I gotta go to work.
Priapism. Yep. Erection lasting longer than it should, more than 4 hours.
Do you give them another shot?
There is an antidote. The off switch is what I call it.
Oh.
Brings the erection down.
Is it usually like a picture of Whoopi Goldberg or something like that?
Get up.
Right.
That's right.
Like, oh, okay, it's fixed.
Oh,
Sorry. I didn't mean to name drop her.
Think of their mom.
Yeah.
It's just their grandma.
Their sister,
I was like
something.
imagining like, grandma's picture comes up. You're like,
Okay, yeah.
it's not working.
Most of the time when that happens is that they did not follow my direction.
Okay.
And then the poor wife is like, I'm so tired. Welcome to TMI Wellness Talk, your favorite slightly inappropriate wellness discussion platform, where we take a shameless approach on talking about what really happens behind closed doors. You'll learn what's normal, what's not, and get the expert's touch of knowledge on all of our dirty little secrets.
Welcome, everyone, to TMI Wellness Talk. I am your host, James Timmons, and joining me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Lisa Reed. How are you doing? How was your week?
My week was interesting. I got a flat tire, and as I was going to get my tire fixed, like running on the rim, I rear-ended a car. And I was just like,
That was on Friday.
This means I shouldn't have a license.
I already heard this story, which is ironic because speaking of flat tires, we're talking about flat penises today. And joining us is an expert in floppy penises, Kristine Clements, who is a certified nurse practitioner, or ARNP-C. So, Kristine, what does ARNP-C stand for?
Hi.
Hi, Kristine.
Hi
You're our
there.
favorite penis doctor.
Hi there. So ARNP is -C is Adult Registered Nurse Practitioner Board Certified.
Okay.
That's
So-
not what I guessed,
Thanks.
but I like it.
We do have a less formal question for you, which is going to be an icebreaker question that we all need to participate in, and that is nothing to do with this topic. But if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Cashews.
That was quick. You had an answer prepared. Cashews?
They do have a lot of protein.
I am down with cashews.
I can tell by your teeth. You look healthy.
I love cashews.
My insides are black.
Okay, well, you love cashews. I have a question then for another question, follow-up. Have you ever had caramel cashew trail mix from Target?
I have not.
Oh, my goodness. After this, you need to go to Target and get caramel cashew. Okay, what it is?
Don't ever go to Target. You will leave and it'll be like $9,000.
No, that's Costco.
It's Target.
Well, Target,
They literally, I don't want to say
well,
the
wait till you try caramel cashews. Then you will leave with after spending $9,000 because they'll change your life. They have these imagine trail mix with cashews, and instead of the raisins,
Do you have some in your pocket? Can we taste it?
No, I have it in my pantry. Imagine they replace the raisins with chocolate covered caramel balls. That's caramel cashews.
Did somebody say
M&Ms?
caramel balls?
So anyway, what's your answer?
Mine would probably be French fries.
You know that
That's
you
why
can
my
actually
insides are black.
potatoes are the one food that you can survive that has enough nutrients that you can survive the rest of your life.
I'm living proof of that.
French fries from where?
Yeah.
I mean,
good
because that
question.
makes a difference.
Good question.
I really like McDonald's fries if they do it right. Like sometimes you
hot.
get them and they're all limp dick, you know what I mean? Like you get it. You're like, these aren't right. And you just pick it up and it just frowns at you and you just dip it in the ketchup and you're like, damn
See,
it.
they do good with their fries.
Or
Like,
they're cold.
What's your favorite?
my favorite. What food would I eat?
Yeah.
Pizza.
Oh my God, Ninja Turtle.
I have an intolerance to garlic and onion. I discovered recently. It gives me heartburn. But all the the 4 food groups, if that's even a thing anymore, are there on pizza, and it's delicious.
I mean, it does do the trick.
Yeah. And if you want to go keto, you just peel the toppings off, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of
Or
limp, those sometimes you get a slice
slice of life.
frozen pizza, and then they'll just kind of do the droop, like erectile dysfunction, which leads us to our topic. We kind of touched on the
got
topic.
a limp dick. Limp dick. How do you say it? Okay, so yeah, we definitely need to talk about this, and honestly, like not even like making fun of it or anything like that. Like
I think maybe talking about it in a lighter way maybe makes it an easier way to speak about it. But let us know, uh, is this something that occurs often? Like, how do you? I want to know what happens like when they come into the office. Like, are they like, it doesn't work, and you're like, let me see, like, or like, how do you like what?
Yeah, give us
how
a
do you
peek
do
into your
it?
world.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, we are on a telehealth platform, which makes it even better because patients are able to call in,
Mm-hmm.
chat in, email in to us,
Way
and
better.
we can talk to them that way.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then a licensed practitioner is able to talk to them in their state, and we can help them take care of their problem.
Yeah, so there's like a little level of like anonymity, right?
Well, I mean,
Whatever that means.
right. It's a person, right?
Yeah, they
That
have to
real
give their
person.
information,
They
yeah.
have to give their information. But yeah, you're right. It's a level of anonymity.
Because it
yeah.
could
Okay.
be tough to go in and be like, well, like, and I'm sure they think like, are they gonna like look at me? Or are they gonna like make me prove that I can't? Like how to? I'm sure it's something that is awkward for them, but it's also something that's pretty common, right?
Very common.
More than we know.
Right. We have men into their early 20s all the way up into their 90s.
Okay.
So it does affect.
90s.
Yes.
I was more surprised by
I
the
love
20s.
it.
Yeah.
Because that's one stigma, right? That only old people have erectile dysfunction, right?
Not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
could be a mindset. Like you could be worried or
Well, like
something. right?
what's one of the most like common? Okay, I guess what's like the typical if that's even a thing.
the most common?
Yeah, like who do you talk to the most? Like, what would you say the average age that you deal with?
I would say the average age is in their 40s,
Okay,
50s, and 60s.
which is crazy because I just turned 40 this last year. But again, I don't personally struggle with this, but I know a few people that do.
It's coming.
But if I did, I would openly share. That's what I signed up for. But
right.
I don't.
But it's also not something to be ashamed of. Like
No.
it's a muscle. Like right. It's something that's just not working properly, and we can fix it, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about it anymore. But what are ways that? So
90% of the time we can fix it.
So
which
let's
is
say
a good.
so James is your person, right?
I'm your
patient.
poster boy.
And he was like, hey, I want to do it with my wife and I can't.
Okay.
What's
yeah,
your
so
typical?
We ask, I mean, is it a firmness issue? Is it a duration issue? Is it a combination?
Oh, okay.
Is it premature ejaculation issue? All of those things can play a part.
Yeah.
And we can customize an injectable or an oral, depending on what they need, to help them.
Okay, now when you say the word injectable, it sends shudders through my body. Like, what? Can you elaborate on that a little more?
So a penile injectable
Okay.
is a way to give some medication right to the penis.
Like, which? How do you inject it? Which part?
In the
side,
shaft.
The side of the
The side,
shaft.
okay, that's
with
much more
a
comforting.
I'm totally
small-
down for this. I would totally do it.
Small syringe, like an
Okay.
insulin syringe,
Right.
and it doesn't hurt. The reason it doesn't hurt,
Mhm.
contrary to what you think, is there's not a lot of nerve endings on the side of the shaft
Yeah,
where you
I
give
agree.
it. And so a lot of it is psychological, saying,
Yeah.
I'm going to give myself a shot in the penis. Are you fucking kidding me? Like once you get over that and you actually do
So
it,
then I just sneak under the covers and I'm like, here comes it.
Could you imagine? Oh my
Just
gosh.
Got him. Got him.
Well, here's the like. As a man, I am terrified of the thought of a catheter. Right. So when you talk about
Well,
injections,
that seems a lot.
well, when you
more-
say the word injection, that I imagine that there's going to be something that goes into the urethra. Is that the
no,
Okay.
the side of the shaft,
Okay.
out from the base,
Okay.
on the side. Honestly,
And then it's just like,
so much better than a catheter.
Yeah.
And then it just wakes up.
The results are so good that you forget that you just gave yourself an injection.
So,
it's
okay.
a game changer.
It is a tiny
for our
little
men.
hole. It's a tiny little.
It's an insulin syringe, tiny.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and Viagra, for example?
Well, Viagra, remember, is an oral medication, is systemic. So it goes through your entire body.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times our men, they don't get good results with the oral, or they have a lot of side effects, such
Or
as
it lasts too
stuffiness,
long.
headaches. Yeah.
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 And then they're just walking around with a huge boner all day.
That's
Like,
Cialis, not Viagra. But they can't eat, they can't drink. It
Oh.
affects whether it works or not.
Okay.
And
yeah, that's
so
not worth it.
for those men, they're like, what's the alternative? And so
Right.
the alternative is an injectable.
Okay. And does the injectable? Okay, so
Do you have to put it in a certain spot every time?
You alternate
like- do
your
you get,
injection
like-
site.
Track marks?
You do not get track marks.
Okay, that's good. I
was-
can tell.
You're like this.
Because I know that like
I know.
Viagra
I
and
wish
those
I could show you
types
some
of
of it.
pills are like you take it and then like you're ready to go like pretty quickly, right? But then the injection, is that more of like a treatment, like a long-term thing, or does that also kind of get you ready to go immediately?
I mean, for the injectable, you're going to get a good firm penis within 5 to 20 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's pretty immediate.
okay.
And it's just treating the erection only, not systemic, doesn't go through your entire body.
Okay.
And so it becomes a game changer for our men and
Why does
their
it
partners.
why can't you why does it stop working?
That's a good
It is
question.
multifactorial. ED for men is,
Because you know they like sex.
well, it can be depression meds.
Yeah.
A side effect for depression meds can be
Okay.
erectile dysfunction, heart disease, diabetes. And then we sometimes don't even know what the reason is.
Okay.
They can be the epitome of health, run marathons, normal body weight, no health problems, and they still have erectile dysfunction.
That's
So a lot
crazy.
of times we don't know.
Yeah. But you know how to
Oh,
treat
wow.
it. You don't need to know,
We
right?
do.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's okay? So one thing that I like to do is kind of bring it into like mental health. Like, would you say in your experience, do you see guys like that this affects their mental health like pretty directly, or do you not ever really kind of see the
Yeah,
mental
are they
health side
like,
of it?
dude, I want to get laid and I can't. This is making me and my wife are having problems. Like, I can't have sex with her, and that's
Like, is
how
it
we show each other we love each other. Like,
It's huge.
okay?
It's huge for our men. They are embarrassed.
Yeah.
They're devastated. They want a healthy sexual life.
well, they like
And-
it. It feels good.
They come to us out of desperation. Like
Okay.
nothing has worked for them, and they've heard about it, but they just want to maybe understand it better.
Right.
And so we walk through that with them to see if it's going to be a benefit for them.
And for women, like, I would think that, like, if my husband couldn't have intercourse with me because I couldn't get his dick hard, like, I would think that maybe he didn't like me anymore, or maybe he was cheating on me, or like is that like I'm like, why doesn't he like me anymore? Like, is it me? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that could be an issue too with marriages, like, because like you were fine before, like, what's wrong? Like,
Yeah.
what
Right.
changed?
Especially when they're younger, I see that. But I actually talk to wives, girlfriends, and their husbands on the phone at the same
Okay.
time, which is great because
That's helpful.
she will have questions that maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, that's really critical because I could imagine like the guy trying to explain it away.
And
Like
like,
he's
oh,
hiding
really?
something?
Who is she? Who
Yeah.
is she?
But like, oh, I just have this medical issue. Oh, sure,
oh, I
you
bet
do.
you do. What's her name?
It's like, well, let's talk to an expert. Okay.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So, like, what? Actually, that's a good. How would that conversation typically look? Let's just say hypothetically, a 38-year-old man recently discovered that he just cannot keep it up or get it up, and then him and his wife are on the phone with you, and there's that exact scenario. Like, she's a little skeptical.
And
Mhm.
also, has it ever been her fault? And you're like, probably you.
Well, don't answer that question yet. Like, what's a typical
So-
response?
So when I'm on the phone with them, I actually have their medical history in front of me. We can go through that sort of
Okay.
thing, medications, health history. And then we talk about dosing and how to dose the medication and where the medication goes and how to store
That's
it.
important. Have you
Yeah.
ever gave it too big of a dose? And they're like, we got a big problem.
Literally.
That's
we got a
called
big problem. And I gotta go to work.
priapism. Yep. Erection lasting longer than it should, more than 4 hours.
More
but we
than
know
4 hours.
we know how
That is
to
a
treat
long
that.
time.
We know how to treat it.
Okay.
So
Do you give them another shot?
There is a antidote. The off switch is what I call it.
Oh.
Brings the erection down. So we do have a safety,
Do they
precaution
have
in
that
place.
in their possession where they can be like, ah, clap.
All our men get that.
Is it
Okay.
usually like a picture of Whoopi Goldberg or something like that?
Get up.
Right.
That's
Right.
Like, oh, okay, it's fixed.
Oh,
Sorry.
everything's-
I didn't mean to name drop her.
Think of their mom.
Yeah.
Just their grandma.
sister,
I was like
something.
imagining grandma's picture comes up. You're like, ugh,
Okay, yeah.
it's not working.
Most of the time when that happens is that they did not follow my direction.
Okay.
And then the poor wife is like, I'm so tired.
No, I don't think the wife would be complaining at that point.
4 hours later, a little bit.
Well, yeah,
Like
okay.
we're not like dolls.
Blow up dolls.
Right. We still feel things too.
Sorry, we kind of went on a rabbit trail. So, what would your typical response be? 38-year-old man and his wife is on the phone with
Yeah.
him.
So basically, they have questions like,
Mm-hmm.
how does the medication work? Well, we're getting the medication into what we call the cavernosum of the penis.
Okay.
That is a chamber within the penile shaft.
Okay.
Okay. The medication goes in, it creates the erection, sustains the erection. And we can control the erection duration on the medication that we give.
Wow.
So you can literally tell them how long they get to have sex.
We can. We can. And they can customize it too.
30 minutes this month.
That's
I'm a little
right.
tired.
That's right.
We'll do 60 next week.
They can have a shorter session. They can have a longer session. The pharmacy
Wow.
has about 30 different strengths of formula. So
Wow.
we can always customize it to the patient, which is great.
Wow, and it really helps him with like, okay, like it's a Tuesday and the kids have to go to school tomorrow and like let's just get this done, and or then it's like a weekend we're out together and like we can have sex all weekend. Like that's important to be able to customize that.
Right.
To know like, I mean in a what you were speaking of earlier is like premature ejaculation. Like
Right.
we've all been in that position where we're like,
That's it.
did you just puke on me? What? Are we done? Like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
But then you're also kind of like, sorry, I'm
That
so
was me.
perfect. And then you're like, but can you go again? And they're like, no, please leave. And I'm like, okay, bye. Maybe next year.
Well, okay, I don't want to get too graphic, but like I know.
Why?
I
Do
guess
it.
you're right. You're right. I know that like typically if a man is expected to go a really long duration, let's say they don't have this problem with erectile dysfunction, like the premature ejaculation is kind of something that like they get out of the way and then wait a little while and then they can go for, a good 30 minutes or whatever. Do you have like, for lack of better terms, professional porn stars that utilize this like tool, I guess,
Mhm.
to utilize their tool?
I do.
Is it like
Okay.
Actually
steroids?
do.
Okay, because yeah, it's
It's like
like
steroids for like penises.
because I'm thinking like if you're a performer and you have to perform
Right.
and you can't and you like then you
And you're
would,
like, I'm so tired of having sex with all these hot chicks.
you would need something like that,
The
right?
industry is very well aware of what Trimix is.
Okay,
They
wow.
they understand it. They know what it is. It's always on set. So
What's
they
Trimex
do.
mean? Like 3
Tri?
times the best?
No, Tri is made up of 3 medications, and those are vasodilators that help to make the
Medications.
erection.
I thought it was because I thought TRY, but I'm not very smart. I was like, try Mex, like
I thought it was a Mexican restaurant here in Tri-Cities.
I'm really into nachos.
But we also have Bimix, which is 2
Okay.
out of the 3.
Okay.
And then we have just
That's for bisexual
alprazolam
people.
by itself.
Right?
Bimix?
Bisexual
Yeah, there you
people.
go.
So no
No.
matter who it is, you can get it. You can get a boner, right?
Oh man, I'm blushing. You can't tell. That's interesting. Because I mean that was the one question I had buried in my mind. I'm like, okay, no, I can't ask that. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna ask it. Yeah, the whole porn industry. So they're pretty aware of Trimex. They have it on. It's almost like a football team with cortisone on site, right?
That's right.
That's crazy. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, it makes perfect sense.
you got to keep it up. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
That's right.
Nobody wants to
They're well
see
aware
a
of what
big
Trimix is.
Penis
Okay.
inside of somebody. That's
Mhm.
awkward.
that's crazy. So then if you are out there listening, it works because some of the stuff that you've probably tried they use it.
Yeah, and I think like the biggest thing for this is like I think that it happens to people when they least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand why it's happening. They feel guilty with their spouses and their loved ones and the people that they want to have sex with. And like the worst thing ever is like getting hot and heavy with someone, and then you're like,
Yeah.
so should I leave?
Yeah. Then you
Or,
have to
like,
explain.
yeah, but it's something that is more. It happens more often than
Oh
not.
my gosh, it's so common. But the best is when they call back and they say, "You have changed my life."
Yeah. What would you say
And
the
you've-
ratio of that is?
Well, I would say 90% of the men that come to us, we can treat successfully with an injectable. They're not going to have a 21-year-old rock hard penis, but they're going to have a penis that is firm
Wait,
enough
do you have
for
an injection
duration.
for that?
What?
Do you have one that's called 21 Rock Hard?
Yeah, it's called, take too much. No.
Okay, well, so for a person that is having this issue, like, when do they call in? Is it something that happens once or twice, or something that happens, like how long does it need to go on, or when do you come to a point where you're like, I need to go get help? Like, how do you, like, no, like, because like whiskey dick, right? Sometimes you just drink too much and you just like, it happens, right? But
Well, it's different for everyone. I mean, some men will go years and just not address it and just kind of sweep it under the rug. Others will come right away and say, hey, I don't want to go the penile implant route. My urologist says that that's the next step. But I've heard of these injections. What can you tell me about those? And so maybe they want a less invasive approach. And that's where this can come in and really be a game changer for them.
Yeah.
it really is. And I honestly think that like actually having a sexual life is very important. Like we all love having sex. Like why would we even pretend we don't, right? So
Yeah.
this is important to understand and to be able to fix if it is an issue, because nobody likes to. If you love someone, like you want to make love to them, and
That's right.
and not being able to do that is huge. Like, because then what really deters you? Like, how are you different than anybody else then at that point?
That's right.
So I see the importance of it, and I just think that it's just not something that's talked about a lot because people maybe get nervous about it or embarrassed, like, or whatever it may be. But like, hey, like, let's get you set up. Like, it's all right. Like,
We have a lot of guys too where they know of somebody who's done the injections, and that's where they first hear about it. Whether it's somebody at the golf club or somebody, a cousin or a brother or
that
somebody
they
who's
opened up to,
Yes.
or that they opened up to them,
and that's how they found out about it.
Yeah.
And then they've done the research. Injection technique videos are all over the place from reputable medical clinics that can show them how to give the injection successfully. So they often hear about it before they come to us.
Is there a way you can unsuccessfully give it?
I'm sure there is.
To where like what happens? Does it like grow a horn or something? Like,
Well, we have the antidote, the off switch. We can
Oh yeah,
We
Whoopi
can turn
Goldberg.
it off.
so really the only way to do it poorly is to just give it too much. Other than that, like there's no like, you got to keep it clean, obviously, and like.
And ideally, the dose that we give them, the erection will come down naturally on its own after orgasm. Sometimes men are able to get a couple sessions out of one injection.
Yes.
Okay, so just a couple more questions for you, Kristine.
Hey, I'm down.
Okay,
Hit me.
question number 1. What do you want the world to know about erectile dysfunction?
Listen, don't shut yourself away about it. Like, seek help. There is help. And it's, we're here to talk about it. We're here to help you through it. And 90% of the time we can treat you. So
Sweet.
seek us out.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Like, especially through a telehealth platform where we're talking on the phone, it's just so laid back, and we try to make it so easy for patients to get the treatment that they need.
Yeah.
Don't think it's your partner, or don't make your partner think it's them too. Like maybe just understanding like this is a normal thing that happens, and we're all just gonna work together to like fix it. Like
So common.
It's we don't have to hurt anybody's feelings about it. Like just let me know, and like I'll get you this little thing and a clap, and then you just boner for days.
Not literally.
Yeah, I mean, not
Most
unless
of the
you want to.
time, it's lasting 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
That's
of
perfect.
a good erection.
That's really good.
Come on, who's going to complain about that? Right?
Nobody.
Nobody.
You're like, get the injection. I'm ready.
Well, on the flip side of that, what would you say to those partners, those females that are self-conscious, that aren't really buying the whole erectile dysfunction thing,
Well, it's not them. First of all, it has nothing to do with them. And as a partner, whether it's male or female, that's the first thing you think of. It's me. That's why they can't get an
They don't
erection.
like me. I'm ugly.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's
I'm
so not
gross,
true.
or like,
Not true. I mean, like I said, multifactorial, there's so many reasons why. And sometimes we don't even know why, but there's treatment and there's
Right.
help.
Yeah. That's huge.
A supportive
huge.
partner is huge. A lot of times, like I mentioned before, I'm actually on the phone with them both. And it's so helpful because they have questions.
Nobody wants to
others-
talk to their husband to talk to some chick on the phone about their erectile. You're like, I'm going to be on the phone.
I'm talking to a lady.
What does she look like? All right, I'm on the phone.
Some of my men are like, it just feels so weird talking to a lady about it. I said, speak frank.
Yeah.
Speak frank.
Yeah.
Like,
Be
we're
yourself.
here. Just, tell me straight up because that's really what it is. Don't hold back. My treatment for you depends on it.
Right.
So
and honesty
just be
is
honest.
the best way to do
Yeah.
it,
That's
right?
right.
Tell you straight up so they can become straight up.
That's right.
So they can come straight up.
That's right. Oh, that's a good one.
Too far. Here we go again.
Yeah, I guess I'm sure that hopefully there's people out there listening right now that we're not live, but when this goes out,
Mm-hmm.
people will be listening and they're probably going to know where they
Wives
can
or
go,
husbands.
like a website or something
Mm-hmm.
where they
Yes.
can like get some of this Trimix. And is it Trimix or Trimex?
It is TRIMIX.
Okay,
Trimix.
Trimix. Okay.
But you don't get an extra person perverts. In case you were
They
thinking
just
that.
go to invigormedical.com and we will hook you up.
Invigor,
Right.
INVIGOR.
So this is something that is very
medical.com.
common. Do not be ashamed of it. Do not be afraid to talk about it. There's somebody here to help you. She's right here sitting in front of us, a real life person. She knows that it works. She can fix it for you. There's no reason to live in shame, or who doesn't want to have orgasms too? Like, come on, like, let's get that out. Like, let's go. Like, don't be afraid of it. It's
We
nothing
can
to be
help.
ashamed about. It's completely normal, and everybody wants to do it, and there's nothing wrong that you want to continue it.
That's right. You hear that, man. There are two women who are giving you the green light to come forward and go to invigormedical.com, right?
That's right.
And check this out. Talk to Kristine. You might talk to Kristine, right?
You might. You might talk
See?
to me.
And you already know her. So
That's right.
on that, let's wrap.
Mm-hmm. Wakey, wakey.
Wakey, wakey.
Hands off, snaky.
No.
We got you.
So yeah, feel free to follow us. Smash that subscribe button and
Smash your wife. And if you can't, give us a call.
Oh my
We
gosh.
got you.
I just
Oh my gosh.
broke your decor.
He just
Lisa-
threw his.
Watch this. Oh no, it's magnetic. Anyway, yeah, smash that subscribe button. Follow us everywhere: Facebook,
Smash, smash, smash.
TikTok, smash. So you can smash.
Smash.
And on
Smash.
that, I am
Thank you
James.
so much for joining us. We appreciate more than anything. You literally took my virginity. Like, should I give you a card?
Thank you for
Like,
having me. I had a
you're
lot of
gonna
fun.
get it. You took my virginity card of our first podcast ever.
This is
and
our inaugural
you did
podcast.
such a great job. And
This was fun.
It
It
was
was
really
fun.
fun, and really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for
And
being so
Thank you
open.
so much for
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely. I'd love to come back. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely have you back.
Awesome.
We're-
Let's just work on making them dicks hard. Fuck hard. Peace out.
Goodbye.